Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today is all about pre-season training. Yes, it may only be late June, but football teams up and down the UK are back in training, ready for the start of the new season, which is, I think, about 6 or 7 weeks away. So today I'm going to take the cameras and you guys down to the training ground and show you a little bit about what goes on at pre-season training from a photographer's perspective. Now, apologies for the shaky camera. I haven't quite got time to set the tripod up just for a quick introduction here. I'm going to take you down onto the pitches with me, and I'll talk again when we get there shortly. But pre-season is basically about those storylines that have happened over the summer. So I mentioned in my video a couple of weeks ago about at the end of the season, Tranmere had appointed a new manager, a new coaching staff, new technical director. So I'll definitely be looking for some photos of those guys today, along with players from last season back in training, those that have signed new contracts, and of course, what every football fan loves is a new signing. So I'll be looking to snap all of those. The sun is out. There's been a bit of a heat wave here over the last few weeks. Thankfully, that has subsided a bit this week. So it's going to be a little bit cooler for the players just today to start back training. Good thing to do during pre-season as well is to get photos of all new equipment. So new match balls, which is a Football League here, released last week, or photos of last week or the week before. Good to grab some snaps of them just lying on nice fresh turf and a few shots like that. And I'll kind of talk through some of those bits either when we're there or retrospectively when I share some shots with you. Okay, so I'm going to pack my gear up. Everything's been on charge. Most things have been cleaned following last season. So let's get on the road and let's get up to the training ground. Okay, so I've arrived here at the training ground. Sun's out, which is nice. It is really, really windy here, so I'll see what footage I can get. I don't have a GoPro, so I'm going to kind of try and use my phone and get some footage showing me in action and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to shoot. As a general rule, one of the first things I was told as a sports photographer is not to, basically stay out the way. So don't get in the way. And I always keep that in mind whenever I'm doing anything, certainly when you go into a club's training ground, because this is where, the coaches are drilling them, the players are in the zone and they're working. This is their place of work. So whenever I come to shoot train, I'll always try and stay a little bit out of the way on the periphery, and having a 70 to 200mm lens, which I'll be using. I'll also have the 400mm lens with me. So what those lenses give me, is that little bit of reach so that I can stay out of the way but still get some nice shots. I am going to have my wide angle with me and maybe switch it on. I'd like to try and get some shots of some sprints and different things in groups if they're doing them with the wide, if I can, and if I can get close enough without kind of getting in the way or anything. So yeah, we'll get out there, we'll see how we do, and let's enjoy pre-season. So I didn't actually manage to capture all that much video of me shooting the train, and I didn't want to really get long periods of time where I was recording video of the training session itself. As I say, there could be trialists and other players that the club are sensitive to seeing out in the public domain. So what I'll do is I'll talk you through some of the shots I took. It was quite a windy day, but overall conditions were pretty good. And this was day one of pre-season training, so inevitably there was an awful lot of running involved. Now, for a photography perspective, that actually gives you some okay shots to get, certainly when they start to do some of the longer running, maybe an hour into training, and the guys had already been in the gym as well at this point. You start to get at least some of those strained facial expressions where you can tell the players just are not enjoying it and are running through the pain barrier. And that is kind of good for those pre-season photos, kind of getting the story across and conveying the emotion that it's hard work, it's hot, and there's a lot of graft being put in. Just before they did the real heavy running, they did some gentle stretches and running and a little bit of football work, which you'll see here. in some of these photos, and also you can see me kind of crouched taking some shots of it on this video here. Now this was pretty slow pace, they're just getting the players kind of stretched and into the rhythm a little bit. But it does allow you to experiment with some angles. Again, I always say experiment whenever you do get out shooting. You know, if there's something you want to try, definitely go ahead and try it. Some things will work, others will not. Maybe more won't work than will, but pre-season training is great for a little bit more of a relaxed feel and being able to try different things. Obviously, for those who shoot football, certainly in Europe where the climate is not always great as far as the UK is concerned, we get bad light and bad weather most of the football season. So what pre-season is it's an opportunity to maybe, if you want to lie on the turf and get a couple of nice shots or do something a bit different, this is the time to do it, because you do have good light, you do have by and large dry ground, dry grass that you can get down and do whatever you want to do to mix things up a bit. My remit was to basically get as many of the different players as possible. There's quite a few new signings. That is something always to be aware of going into pre-season. So yeah, there will be trialists and players like that you won't be allowed to shoot, or you might be notified by a media officer that, you know, don't shoot those. However, all the players that are confirmed new signings, new contract extensions, maybe players who've had a bit of speculation about them if you're shooting maybe for a high profile club, they're the shots to certainly grab. And it's just a good time to get some stock of all the players, because the club usually and most clubs will go pretty heavy on social media once pre-season starts in terms of getting loads of photos out to fans so that you can see their favourite players and the new signings all out training in their new training kit. And that leads me on to another point. This is a great opportunity to get lots of snaps of things like I mentioned the new match balls that have just been introduced by the Football League. A couple of stock images of those go a long way for club statements and different things like that. And additionally, training wear. So clubs will introduce new training lines to the product ranges that fans can buy. And so this is a first opportunity usually to get lots of shots of the players wearing that new gear. I was using a mixture, so primarily my 70-200mm lens on my Canon 1D Mark IV. I also have my 400mm on my Canon 80D, and what that did is just allow me to reach some of those groups of players that were maybe doing sessions in the middle of the pitch, as well as getting nice and tight shots of faces of other players. Now on the really hot days in previous summers, you can get some quite nice shots of beads of sweat on foreheads, and maybe when they're pouring water over the head, you can get some nice cool artistic shots. There wasn't that much to be had in this session on that front, but I'll probably be looking to get a couple more pre-season training sessions in, as well as pre-season matches when the weather will invariably be hot at some point. And so all those types of things can certainly be shot over the coming weeks as well. This is a pretty short video, so welcome to the new football season. I will try and bring you loads of content through the season from a photography perspective, and hopefully share some of my experiences along the way, and I'd say share my knowledge. Might be useful to you, it might not be, but certainly just give you a little bit of insight into what I do as a club photographer here in the EFL in England. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, I'd love you to subscribe, but if not, let's hope I see you on a future video.